Okay, this is fucking absurd. I made $532 on Snapchat stories in a single day. This is ridiculous. And I know you can't see what's on my phone right now, but I'm going to be screen recording this and my editor should have this on the side so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. Now, just for some proof, if I scroll up right here, you can see that Snapchat basically pays out in crystals. So you can see here at the top, I've currently earned 636 crystals, and that equates to $63.6. So essentially, every single crystal that you earn equates to 10 cents. So you can see here on May 17th, I was awarded 5,320 crystals, which equates to $532, which if you do the math, because each crystal is worth 10 cents, that equates to $532. That is absolutely insane, and this was awarded for the stories that ran on May 14th. So if I go to my public profile and I check my insights, you can see here the public story that ran on May 17th was this one right here with 2.92 million views. And I know that sounds like a lot, but it's actually not that much because that's split up between all the 48 slides that were posted on this day. So for example, realistically, it went more like this. The first slide got 217K views, the next one got 170K views, and it kept dropping over time, but altogether, that's how it got to 2.9 million views. So it's more like getting 200K views on 48 videos in a single day rather than getting 3 million views on a single video. So it's way easier. And then if you calculate the RPM on that, that's actually really, really good because $530 divided by 2.9 million views times 1,000 to get the actual RPM means that I'm getting paid 18 cents per 1,000 views that I get, and getting 3 million views on a single story in a single day is actually not that hard. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down exactly how I got paid with Snapchat stories and how you can do the exact same thing. Now, I will admit there are some pretty strict requirements and it's very difficult, but still, I just wanted to actually make this clear how this works so you guys know. And quickly before I get into it, if you guys don't know me already, my name is Bennett Santora, and my real mission is to bring transparency to the make money online space, which I feel like is so broken right now. So that's why I wanted to make this video, especially because there's literally no one else, I think, in the world right now who is this transparent with Snapchat earnings and how all of this works. Everyone else, especially about Snapchat, is gatekeeping. And so I really want to be the first one that's actually being fully transparent with this and showing you guys how much money can be made, how much money I've made, and how you can make money doing the exact same thing. So with that being said, let's get right into how I actually did this. Now, the first thing you have to understand is how Snap's monetization program actually works. So the way that this works is to actually be eligible, you need to have at least 50,000 followers and then meet a couple requirements in terms of posting and view requirements. Now, this on its own is actually pretty easy in my opinion. If you have good enough content, you can hit all of these requirements. And real quick, let me actually explain how I did it. So if you guys don't know me, I'm actually very good at juggling. Let me show you real quick. Not to flex or anything, but you know. Anyways, this is how I got my start in social media to begin with because I was really good at juggling in college. I was like, how should I try to start making money online? And this was one of the first side hustles for me that was actually successful. So on TikTok, I essentially started posting videos of me juggling. I would literally record these videos within the TikTok app, edit it within the TikTok app, and then post it here. And then I heard you could make money with Snapchat stories, but you had to have a lot of followers. This was like 1 or 2 years ago. So I figured at the time, since I had all these videos on TikTok already, what if I just pretty much repost these on Snap and try to grow? And that's exactly what I did. But the thing is, it would have taken forever for me to actually manually post these to Snap. So I found a software which I now use religiously. I've become the biggest glazer of this software. I think it's actually so good. But basically what it allows you to do is to connect all your different social media accounts into one place and set up automations between platforms. And if you want to try this, by the way, I'll leave the first link in the description. It's completely free. I believe you can connect all your social media accounts and get 10 completely free posts just to see that it works before even paying for anything. Anyways, as you can see right here, I set up an automation between my TikTok and my Snapchat for the account Fly Juggler. So I already had all these videos posted to Fly Juggler on my TikTok. And so I just set up this automation and I basically made the automation not only post all of the new content that I made on TikTok, but also post all the old content that I had already made. So you can see right here, you can pretty much filter for it to post all content, both new and existing content. And then you can give it an automated posting schedule. So I have it set to automatically post 5 times a day without me even doing anything. And it's basically just going to be pulling from this whole history of all these old videos that I have. And then if I ever upload a new video, which I still do upload new videos, it'll also automatically start posting those videos to something called Snapchat Spotlight. Now right here, this distinction is important. I'm going to screen record on my phone again just so you guys can see, but basically there's 2 different ways to make money with Snapchat or grow on Snapchat. And There's stories and there's spotlights, and spotlights is way easier to grow on in my opinion. Now, if you see my phone right here, basically all of these right here are stories. So all of these are either stories or shows when you scroll on this little tab right here with all these thumbnails. But when you scroll one more time to the right, Snapchat actually has a tab that's pretty much the exact same as TikTok. It's just short form video. You can just scroll and get a bunch of stuff on here. And essentially this is where I was posting to. So I was just taking my TikToks and automatically reposting them to spotlights. And this is what caused me to grow on Snapchat like crazy. It literally took me like a year, but I was literally able to get like 350,000 followers within pretty much the first year of just auto reposting my content. So I do believe if you just post good viral content consistently to Spotlight, you should be able to get monetized pretty quickly actually. At least that's my experience. So you might say, okay, I'm just going to auto repost all the faceless content that I have to Snapchat, hit the 50,000 follower threshold, just make sure I'm posting pretty consistently. And then all I have to do is achieve 1 million Spotlight views, which is pretty easy. If you just get one viral video, you'll pretty much hit that. And then I'll be monetized on Snap, right? Well, no. Unfortunately, Snap is super not transparent about this at all. It's not like how TikTok or YouTube works where you just see the program in app and you can just click apply once you meet the requirements and then they just accept you once you apply. Not how it works at all. Trust me, I really, really, really wish it was, but again, not how it works. The way it actually works is to even have a chance at getting monetized, you need to have one of these Snapchat stars right here. And that's the little star next to your name. So you see it says Bennett and then there's this little star. Very few creators get this. And this is the only way to actually get monetized. And I'm almost certain this is the only way to actually get monetized in their new update post February. So how do you get this? Well, Snapchat says that all you need to do is fill out this form and they'll either accept you or reject you. And you can do this, but the first thing you need to note is that Snap is not even going to accept you unless you're considered a public figure or a creator who brings entertaining content to Snapchat. So realistically, if you're a faceless creator and you don't have any branding or anything related to your channel, the likelihood that you get accepted is very, very low. You kind of need to be considered a public figure or a celebrity almost in some regard. This is reflected in their form because they're going to make you paste all your social media links and then even links of you in the press. So if you don't have all that, it's going to be really hard for you to actually get a Snap star and ultimately get monetized on Snap. The flip side of this, though, is that if you do get a Snap star, you'll be able to make a ton more money because there's way, way, way less competition. Anyways, yeah, they have a form. Fill this out, but this doesn't always work for people. Now, if you actually are a public figure and you have at least like 100K followers on Snap and at least around another 100K minimum across your other social media platforms, hit me up. Just go to my Discord. It'll be in the description and just literally find me on the right over here and just shoot me a DM. I may be able to help you because I know someone and he actually helped me get my Snap star. It's very hard to get your Snap star through the form directly. And so it helps if you actually go through someone who's done it for other people before. Now, again, I encourage you to fill out the form first and try, but it's very, very unlikely that you'll get accepted. And if you don't, only then I recommend you actually reach out to me on Discord and I'll try my best to help you out. So yeah, that's the process of getting a Snap star. Now, once you actually get your star, that's when hitting all these requirements matter. So you built up your following, you got your Snap star, and then once you actually start posting consistently, that's when you'll actually get monetized. And again, it's not like something you can apply to on your Snap public profile. It literally will just show up if you get monetized. And you'll get an email and it'll be like, congrats, you are now monetized. And it's just like invite only. You have no warning, anything like that. From there, in my experience, you'll make around 10 to 20 cents per 1,000 views you get on your stories. And way less, but you will still make some from spotlights. I'm not exactly sure how much Spotlight pays. I'm still trying to figure it out right now since my spotlights haven't been getting that many views recently. But by far, most creators are making the most amount of money from stories right now. And let me actually explain how story monetization works real quick so you get an idea of how to actually maximize your earnings from that if you actually do in fact get monetized. So I already have an old chart here from when I first explained this, but let me explain it again. So let's say I post one story and it's not very engaging like this, reacting to some random memes I have saved on my phone. This on its own might get something like 10,000 views, let's say. And realistically, you're not going to be making that much money from this. The real way that you'll be making money from this is if you post a lot of stories. So let me just copy paste this out a bunch of times to give my point. Okay, boom. I now have a sequence of 32 stories right here. And instead of just getting 10,000 views, it'll probably look something more like this. You get 10,000 on your first, and then a couple people drop off from that to the next one. So the next one gets 9,000 views. The next one gets 8,500 and so on and so forth, all the way down to the last one, which maybe only gets gets 1,000 views because you weren't able to retain people that well. Well, as it turns out, this drop off really matters because the way that you're making money from this is by the ads that run in between your posts. So every, like, let's say 5th post or so, there will be an ad. So there will be an ad right here, maybe another ad right here, and then maybe a couple more throughout. Like we'll have ad, maybe it'll skip a few, ad right here, and then maybe another one closer, ad, and then maybe one more ad. The goal, if you're trying to maximize the amount of money you make, is to maximize the amount of people that actually watch all these ads, because that's where Snapchat's getting their money from, and that's how they ultimately end up actually paying you out. Now, the way you do this, pretty much the same as every single other social media platform. You have a really clickbaity thumbnail that gets people to click, and then you have something that increases retention by a lot, so people actually stay retained and watch the whole way through. The thumbnail is actually just whatever the last post is on your story sequence. So this is why you'll see creators posting something like really clickbaity as the last thing. This gets you to click on their story, and then once you actually start watching through the story, that's how the creator actually makes a ton of money. And then the second tactic is to have something that leads to a lot of retention. So something that will cause people to actually want to click on the next slide. So like, for example, you won't believe what'll happen next, or something like that. So yeah, that's how it works. Now, what some creators are doing is just reaction content, which is very simple to do and very low effort. It's not always in the spirit of what a Snapstar is supposed to do, and so people can get warnings for it and can get taken down, but also can get away with it for a while. And so if you're actually able to get your Snapstar and you want to make extra money from it, again, that's pretty much how I made $530 in a day. Once again, you can DM me on Discord and I will actually help you get set up with that. So with that being said, that's basically the full breakdown on how Snapchat works. And again, I want you guys to remember my mission here. It's to bring transparency to the Make Money Online space. There is no one else that is explaining Snap this in depth right now, so I'm making a full explanation for you guys. And yeah, that's how I really want to change the space. So if you support that mission, please consider liking this video for the algorithm, subscribing, but truly the best way to actually support my mission is to go to my Discord, which will be linked in the description, and actually going to these channels and drop your best money-making sauce completely transparently. The best way that we can actually make change is by taking action ourselves, and so by joining my Discord and actually contributing to the mission, this is how you can best make the change that actually makes the space better. With that being said, thank you guys all so much for watching this video. I'll catch you all in the next one, and peace.